Good morning, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday morning, July 28th. We're looking at Window Traders market profile of the ES and NQ. So, as we enter the last week of July, the market in the overnight, once again, as we say this continually in bull markets, have their all-time high in the overnight. This time, we've come off of that very quickly and by a lot. Right now, we're 84 points, $2 off the overnight high in NQ, and ES, again, over $2. Right now, we're looking, again, there's 90 minutes to go, but you're looking at a potential minimal gap, which, by the way, would be weekly gaps. Remember, we have a weekly gap holding from what, about 9 weeks ago in ES and NQ? This one, if we were to open anywhere near here, I do not believe would hold. Obviously, the overnight is 100% long. However, when they start coming off like this, that is some long pressure coming off, even though we're still above settlement. Keep that in mind. Righty, also looking to potentially gap higher. Now, in Righty's case, it would not be a weekly gap. It would just be a daily gap, and they are still in balance. They would have to take out Wednesday's high to go back up on the daily and the weekly. No, I'm sorry. I did call the weekly up. So the weekly is still up for them. But they'd have to take out Wednesday's high to go back up on the daily. There is nothing out today. There's a lot of garbage out throughout the week, including jolts tomorrow. Big earnings Wednesday night in Facebook, Microsoft. Thursday night is Apple. You have unemployment claims Thursday. You have non-farm payroll Friday. You have the tariffs supposedly coming into play on the 1st. And, of course, you have the Fed on Wednesday. So, again, these algos will be sent into a frenzy throughout the week. As far as a game plan for today, well, again, this is very important, especially in ES. Value high from Friday is right at the day's high. So if you open above value, you have to worry about the 80-20 rule if we get the overnight low and get into value. Now, it's not a disaster because you'll see if you play in the upper distribution. However, if you start getting acceptance into value, then you have odds of potentially trading to value low. Now, remember, 3 times in the last couple of weeks, the bears have had that opportunity, and all 3 times they failed. Why? Because it's a bull market. So even though 80% of the times you go to the other side of value, we do talk about context in here, right? A lot of traders have zero concept about context. Context is everything. But that would be something to keep an eye on, but then to see if you were to stay in the upper distribution. If you just fill the gap and don't go into value from Friday, well, again, the overnight range isn't big at all. It's only $2.50, so you could trade both ends of it. So these are early plays. Now, NQ, if they fill the gap, they're still not near their value high. Okay, their value high in NQ is at 450. I'm just rounding out 459. So you're still about 17 points above it. So again, can you front run overnight lows to see if they hold the gaps? If this is where they are, absolutely. Absolutely. If you get the overnight lows, can you take the short to fill the gap? Sure you can. Again, early plays. We start discussing this in depth at 9:15 in our trading room each and every morning. And then chart-wise, so we just showed the S&P. We recapped everything on Friday. Again, with 4 days left to go in this trading month, the monthly is incredibly healthy. But again, I think for longer-term health of the market, you want to come into balance sooner rather than later on these monthlies. The weekly, coming out of a 3-week balance, up. Here's your weekly gap. That is May 12th. So that's 4, 8, 11. This will be 12 weeks. It's 3 months that weekly is holding. And in Triple Q's case, even though ES is just coming out of balance on the weekly now, look at NQ. We've talked about this. It's just been straight up. The only 2 weeks you've taken out a previous weekly low ended up with outside weeks up. So an incredibly strong market. And on the daily, again, up one time frame and up for 3 days. Good luck trading today. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.